Upfront Books presents Conversationally Speaking, Tested New Ways to Increase Your Personal and Social Effectiveness, written by Garner and narrated by Mccrerey. Copyright 2017 by Garner. This audiobook is published by arrangement with McGraw-Hill LLC and was produced in the year 2020 by Upfront Books, which holds the copyright thereto. Introduction to the third edition. Conversationally Speaking has become the most popular book in the world for teaching conversation skills. I've been helping people learn these skills for 20 years, and I'm always delighted to see the big, positive changes that these skills make in their lives. Most people think that some of us are born with the gift of the gab, and some of us aren't. But the truth is that there is no gift of the gab. People who are good at conversation just know a few simple skills that anyone can learn. These skills are like tools. Imagine trying to hammer a nail with a screwdriver, or cutting wood with a shovel. Very difficult. It would take you 5 times as long, and you'd still end up doing a bad job. A screwdriver and a shovel simply aren't the right tools. But with the right tools, a hammer and a saw, you could do these jobs well and with very little effort. The same is true for conversational tools and skills. You do the best you can with what skills you have, but the skills you have often aren't right for the job. Consequently, you don't do nearly as well socially as you might. Researchers in the fields of communication and psychology have identified several specific skills vital for social effectiveness. Further, they have found that these skills can be learned in a relatively short time. Unfortunately, these research findings have appeared, for the most part, only in academic journals, and the skills involved are taught at only a handful of universities. I developed the Conversationally Speaking workshop and have written this book to fill in this gap and teach these skills in an interesting, straightforward, and non-technical manner. The success of my efforts has far exceeded my expectations. Over 50,000 students have taken my workshop, and the public and professional response to this book has been continuous and growing. Further, the skills I'm about to share with you have turned out to be just as valid in other languages. Foreign editions with exotic-sounding titles like Samtaletechnik and Praten met Plezier have become popular throughout the world. One note of caution before we begin. Just as listening to a book about skiing won't by itself make you a more skillful skier, and listening to a book about bodybuilding won't by itself improve your muscle tone, so simply listening to this book won't do much for your social skills. Improving your social skills will take both listening and lots of consistent, dedicated practice. Listen to no more than 1 chapter per sitting, and begin using each skill immediately after you learn it. The last chapter will provide you with a workable way to structure your efforts, should you require it. I've enjoyed writing this book, and I think you'll be excited to see how learning a few simple skills can produce big improvements in your social life. Chapter 1. Asking Questions that Promote Conversation. Scott, a 52-year-old construction contractor, reporting on his efforts to talk to his neighbors. I tried. I really did. I asked them a question and didn't get much of an answer, so I asked another, and then another. After a while, I felt like I was an FBI agent interrogating suspects rather than a man trying to make pleasant conversation with the people next door. Lisa, a 22-year-old saleswoman, conversing with me prior to a workshop. How long have you been teaching this class? Oh, about 10 years. Do you teach it often? Yes. Do you teach anything else? Yes, I teach speech at National University. Where's that? In San Diego. Where did you get your education? UCLA, and I went to Oregon for graduate school. Where do you live? Laguna Hills. Where's that? I'd say it's about 75 miles north of San Diego. Everyone asks questions, but few people know how to ask questions in ways that effectively promote conversation.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?